Hello guys, hello, how are you doing? Molweni sanbonani. I hope you guys are doing very well. Welcome to our channel again. Super excited to be back and to talk to you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for continuing to watch our videos and commenting. We have received quite a massive comment on our last video, and we really appreciate that. How are you guys doing? Are you excited? How is the spirit going? As we said that as soon as the cabinet is nominated, ministers know where they are working now and their offices. We start work. We start working because we start getting to know each and every minister who has been appointed in a particular office or ministry. And so, yeah, wow. So the Minister of Home Affairs has appeared on TV. I'm not following him on any social media, whether it's X or whatever. So I only watched the video on YouTube when he was interviewed, I think, on ETV. So yeah, and we started getting an idea of what we can expect from him, and from the interview that he had on ETV, I think it was yesterday. I'm not if or today, I don't know. So yeah, and it's actually the interview and the response he provided actually reflect what I was talking about yesterday. Some sort of a balanced kind of approach to how the Ministry of Home Affairs is going to be operating in the next in this seventh administration. So it actually reflects what I thought and what I have said yesterday in our last video, that he's going to have a balanced approach in terms of how he manages or he leads this ministry. And from what he said, I picked up 6 points, which I've put down here. 6 points, and I'm gonna shortly discuss those 6 points which I have picked from what he spoke on TV. But if I have to come back to the comments we're receiving on the last video, gosh, so basically I'm getting a sense where this is a ministry which has no side. It is going to be a balanced ministry, and which at some point is not going to be favorable to any part, whether it's locals, whether it is foreign nationals. And when I talk about foreign nationals here, I'm speaking about African foreign nationals, black foreign nationals in South Africa. So let's go into it. And so the first point I picked from the Minister of Home Affairs, the new Minister of Home Affairs, is that he wants to speed up the processing of critical skills visas. And from that point, you can understand the type of person we are going to be dealing with, and the type of department we are going to be dealing with, and what the priority is going to be. So here you can already feel the sense of and the difference between a black-led department and a white-led department. So the first point is to speed up the processing of critical skills visas. And why? Because he wants people with skills to get the visas and come work in South Africa. Yeah. So that's the first priority. So that means whether you like it or not, whether you cry that you don't have a job or not, the priority is going to bring those people with skills to come and work in South Africa so that the economy can get going. Yeah. So I always, by the way, I always ask myself, So with all these universities we have in South Africa, so we don't have skilled people. And if we don't have skilled people, whose fault is that? I never understand. Maybe probably you guys are gonna help me understand this, because whose fault is it that we don't have skilled people in South Africa? Why do we have hundreds of universities that people are graduating at each year, and they're not producing people with skills that is needed in the country? Why is the investment not going towards building infrastructure that will provide those skills that are needed in the country? I don't know. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to imagine. Especially in countries where there's huge unemployment. Shouldn't they be doing that instead of importing skills? They could put a plan in place, 5-year plan, where they say, okay, which critical skills do we need? We need this and this and this. What do we need to get this, to build up infrastructure in the country to get these skills built right here at home? And then we start having South Africans who are learning into that skills, and after 5 years, they are able to do those jobs that they're supposed to be calling people from abroad to come and work. So I don't know. So yeah, so that for me is something I picked up, which means neither I as a foreigner or migrant, neither a local, so we're all going to be shouting because, hey, why are you bringing people in instead of empowering us who are crying and graduating each year and not getting those jobs? So that's for you guys to deal with. But hey, the minister has made it clearly the first priority is to speed up the processing of critical skills visa so that people can come in and contribute to the development of this country. Okay, all right, you heard me clearly. The second point that the second point I noted in the speech of the Minister of Home Affairs, he spoke about the ZEP visas or permit, and he spoke few things. But what I noted up from him, the positive part that I noted from this, his point is that people cannot be punished because of the system that failed them. What does that mean? So what means that yes, the ZEP permits are there. They've been going to courts, and the Department of Home Affairs has lost that court. And so for him, he thinks that yes, he's going to deal with people who are illegal in the country, and he's going to apply the law as per the constitution. But at the same time, there's a need to look into the system. And those people who have been contributing to the country and have legal documentation, there must be a room for them to apply for the correct visas so that they can continue to contribute effectively. Again, do you note that? So this is a working minister. He's not focusing on what you say or what is said outside. He's focusing on who can contribute to the economy. We're going to be having a change of tone as time goes by for the next 4-5 years. So it's not about what you think, or it's not about what you're not getting. It is about what you can do. Can you do this? Okay, can you perform this task that we need somebody to do it? Can you do it? Yes, I can do it. Come in. Here's the visa. So yeah, so basically what does that mean for the ZEP permit holders? Those guys, if you've got your permit and it's you obtained legal, you got it legally, definitely the department is going to work ways to make sure that you get your correct documentation, whether it's the same ZEP permit, whether it is another visa. You're going to get your visa, and you're going to continue offering the service you've been offering in South Africa for as long as it is a service that is contributing to the growth of this country. So that's the new tone. You can see that things are changing, and the tone is changing, and the direction is changing in the Department of Home Affairs, And then, so he does not see the reason behind denying visas to people who have been contributing to the country with their skills. He doesn't see any reason to deny those people the visa. If people have been contributing to the country effectively, why deny them the visa? He doesn't see any reason for that. So, yeah. The next point that he spoke about is that this is now the fourth point for me that I picked up from his speech or from his interview. He say he does not see why South Africa should be the one dealing with so much migrants. And here we're talking about African migrants when their countries are failing. He doesn't see any reason for that. And for that reason, he thinks he's going to collaborate with the Minister of International Relations, Mr. Lamola, so that they can make some of these countries accountable for the migrants they get in South Africa. What does that mean? That means he's going to look into collaborating with the Minister of International Relations so that they can speak to these countries whom their people are coming to South Africa and hold them accountable for those people who are coming in South Africa. It means there must be some sort of funding that comes either from the international community, either from these countries, if they expect South Africa to continue dealing with the number of migrants that come to South Africa. So, again, in that case, there are probabilities where it's either if you can't take care of your people and you're not going to take full responsibility, take your people, And again, as per comments that I'm receiving, there's a sense that this is an administration, or this is a department which is not going to be entertaining people who are not contributing to the economy. And this is what my fellow migrants have to understand, that yes, the DA is not going to be a friendly organization or political party to either the local or to the foreign nationals who are not contributing meaningfully to the economy. So you are going to be a friend of the DA or of this Department of Home Affairs if you have the skills that are contributing to the economy of this country. If you are not in that class of skilled people and you are not legal in the country, there's a chance that they're going to be dealing with people like those systematically. That's how the white man works. He works through the system, and eventually he gets what he wants through the system. So that you need to understand, and that you need to prepare for, and make sure that you are ready. But what I know for sure is that whatever that's going to be done, it will be done through the rule of the law and by following what the Constitution says in South Africa. So yeah, and for me, I really I don't see any problem when it comes to holding those countries in Africa who are making things difficult for their citizens to stay in their country. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be expecting that South Africa will deal with everyone who comes, even though it's not like all Africans are in South Africa. No. It's not like that. So I know that's how people try to make it sound, but it's not like all Africans are in South Africa. No, 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 no. Yeah, there are only few. So yeah, even though South Africa is trying to make it as if all Africans are now in Africa, it's not like that. It's not like that. Okay. Yeah. The and to follow up on that is that the point number 5 was that if now this situation of migrants continuing to come to South Africa as part of creating systems that will make things work to identify those who are supposed to be in the country legally and those who are not legal in the country, to find a way to take them out systematically. The Department of Home Affairs is going to be working with the Department of Public Works. Remember, the Minister of Public Works is also, I think, a DA guy, so that they can strengthen the security measures at the border. And in that sense, is to look into ways of building strong and effective fencing system on the South African borders to prevent those people who are jumping from other countries into South Africa. So again, this is again a systematic process that is going to be implemented to make sure that if we cannot stop them from coming to South Africa legally, then the instrument that we have in place is to make sure that our border systems, our border infrastructure is well built to prevent those people from jumping into the country. So that's another point that the Minister of Home Affairs has highlighted in the interview. And finally, he has spoken about improving the infrastructure so that they can end the issues relating to offline at the Department of Home Affairs and long queues. And that's the point that I also said about, I spoke about yesterday, that I know for sure that the department is, the new minister is eventually going to make sure that he reduces this kind of burden of long queues, of offline. That always is the case at the Department of Home Affairs. But again, I must clearly outline that in everything that, in all this, the focus is to improve the experience of South Africans. That's what is, he was putting the words of restoring the dignity of the department that issues the most critical document of every South African, which is the identification document. So he did not refer to anything that relates to refugees and migrants and whatever, except when he said that you cannot expect to deny people the documentation when the system has been failing them. So which means in that regard, I understood that perhaps, yes, he's looking into improving the system so that the issuing of documentation is effective and efficient, so that can the people who have the rights to be in the country can be in the country legally. So yeah, those are the key points that I picked up from the Minister of Home Affairs with his short interview at ETV. And from there, we can now sense where we're going. We can now start expecting some of the things that will come in the future. And for me, I think this is my conclusion, I think and I believe he's going to be a balanced person. And in talking about balanced person, it means he's not going to have any side, either on the foreign side or on the local side. On the contrary, he's going to be working with those who have skills to contribute to the economy of this country. So we need to understand that. And let me not say this. So yeah, thank you guys. I think we can now start now following each. I think I'm gonna start following the minister on X so that I can see I can get updates of what he's doing and what his moves are, so that I can keep up with what's happening. But yeah, that's the basics, that's the brief, and from there you can now reason and see where we're going with the new minister, especially knowing that he's coming from the DA. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you so much. We'll come back again with another video. Please, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, because things are coming up. So sensitive things are coming up, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how we start debating these things as they unfold, including looking at how he's going to be tackling the issue of dealing with the African government so that they can take responsibility of their people. I am excited to see that, because I'm super excited, and I want to see how he's going to be dealing with that when he collaborates with the Minister of International Relations. Yes, let's see, let's wait. So subscribe, please, join us. Make sure that you click on that bell, so that whenever we have new video, you can be the first one to see it and to watch it. So cheers guys, let's meet again next time. See you, bye.
Also on the other side, speeding up the processing of some of these critical economic enablers, including things like critical skills visas, where I serve on the Council of Stellenbosch University, for example, and we have lost academics who had to leave the country, who had specific skills that we wanted to transfer to South Africans, but they had to leave the country because they were not able to get the documents they needed. Those are the kind of economic impacts that we can have if we tackle this issue. And more broadly, we can restore dignity to the... We also have to look at the way in which people who try to get legal paperwork are being failed by processes within the department. And that is something where some of the major problems and court cases actually emanate from, because you cannot punish a person when the department itself has failed. It's that clear cut. There has to be a process for persons who have tried to legalize themselves, people who have tried to apply for other visas, for example, where they have managed to contribute skills to the economy, to actually obtain the paperwork where they have complied with the law. But then on the other side, of course, that's why I started by saying, where there are persons who do not meet the criteria, that is where we will have to review that system. But I must say to you, Naledi, that I look forward to discussing with Minister Lamola, because as I say, I think we can use some international platforms to make the case for why Africa shouldn't be punished when you have migration crises and wars in other parts of the world, and then South Africa ends up being defunded. So I think that that is something we must take up. I also have great confidence in my colleague, Mr. Dean McPherson. And I'm very excited about the fact that he's been appointed at Public Works, which, as you know, is actually responsible for things like border fencing and the infrastructure. Look at online solutions as well, but turn that into a more dignified experience so that people don't use the phrase system offline as some kind of joke. It needs to go away. It needs to be dealt with. So that's really the priority, investing in human resources, uplifting staff who go out of their way to work hard, holding accountable people who are involved in corruption and maladministration, embracing technology so that we can push the kind of reforms that we need, and ultimately make it a dignified experience so that you can feel that the department that gives you